Yan?
Great success awaits those who find opportunity in every difficulty. This saying reflects to the young hearts of the midshipmen now marching in front of you. They are the few who courageously made a step forward to take on the challenges of a midshipman's life, which definitely is not a kind of life everybody wants to bear. For a midshipman's life offers no room for a civilian attitude, where freedom is not being freely exercised, and where every single day is something to be prepared for. That is the kind of life they voluntarily chose in pursuit of an assured future.
To become a midshipman of the Maritime Academy of Asia and the Pacific is not just a walk in the park. The Academy chooses its scholars in a manner where only the fittest survive. From almost 12,000 applicants rose the 398 males and 9 females who passed a series of mental, physical, and medical exams and survived the grueling 10 months of a strictly regulated life. They are designated as the class of 2017, but call themselves the Aquileas, which stands for the Adamant Conquerors and Legionnaires of the Seven Seas.
Formed before you are 2 platoons of young men and women who agreed to train arduously so as to form the most brilliant company of the midshipman fleet, the Silent Drill Company. As soon as they are halted, the company commander directs the platoon leaders to align the units to the center. After the platoons are dressed and aligned, the company commander will give a series of manual of arms to exhibit the proficiency of the company. Right shoulder arms. Left shoulder arms. Port arms. And order arms. The company commander orders the company to execute the present arms. With his staff, he salutes you all for sharing this significant occasion with us. The final command has been given. From here onwards, the company will perform the entire drill without further commands.
Character, defined as the moral and mental identity of every individual that gives him a distinction from others, plays a significant role in the Academy's training. With systematically organized education and training, the midshipmen of the Maritime Academy of Asia and the Pacific are molded to develop a character that is necessary for the successful pursuit of a progressive maritime career. A character that shall encompass the Academy's motto, Virtus, Fides, et Disciplina. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now witnessing the changing colors, blue and white, where the drillers in blue and white uniform interchange their posts, signifying the transition we have undergone through the Academy's character building training. The midshipman development system eventually reconstructs and transforms the young civilian to a fine and respectable gentleman.
Alam niyo tayo puti ni? Hindi tayo Kim. Tayo niyo tayo puti. Ano ni? Sama saksak ito nga. Alam mo na yan. Nagkakakit ko sa iyo.
Determination is the very first character MAAP has imparted to the class of 2017. From the moment we took our very first step to the playgrounds of the Academy, we became aware that survival is only for those people who carry with them enough stock of determination. MAAP also imbued to the class of 2017 that determination is always accompanied by a vision. We were taught to be determined not just in setting goals or visions, but also in taking charge, striving forward, going beyond our limits, and achieving what we have always wanted. And that is what is actually signified by the formation of taking form before you. The big arrow, which shows the head ahead. To reaching this vision is only direction the Achilles class will be taking. Determined to strive forward, we set our unabashed voyage to one common endeavor.
Having experienced being the lowest mammals in the Academy led us to acquire a courteous character. As cadets, we are expected to be polite at all times, and because of this expectation, we are used to greeting every person, whether a stranger or not, as we pass them by. This led us to a realization that there is nothing better than a conversation started with a courteous citation. Through a courteous act, we share the humble deeds embedded in our class, so that wherever we go, whatever we do, we tend to establish a bond with the people around us. As future seafarers, this will provide us an assurance to work in a hostility-free atmosphere. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we share a sense of consciousness through the letters H and I. Hi, and a pleasant morning to all of you. We welcome you all to the silent roll exhibition of the class of 2017.
Loyalty. This has always been a strong foundation of any successful institution. Considering the fact that the subordinates do not only share the glorious facets of such institution, but as well as the bitter ones, make it enough to withstand the furious winds of time. The amount of human struggles and pains they share with such institution could be a basis of true loyalty. The class of 2017 is just on its way to proving its loyalty to the Academy, but its 1 year stay in the Academy has already provided the class with an impressive start.
MAAP. M-A-A-P. Wala si Don. Si Don. Si Don nandito.
The forming in front of you are the letters M, A, P, MAAP, which connotes that the glorious year of 2017 is a true loyalty and a pledge that will stand back to what our dear Academy has imparted on us. With this, we carry within our identity the traits of the MAAP cadet as we render a salute, committing our loyalty.
Though we are being trained in a regulated system, the fear of God has always been a part of it. As human beings, we owe our very lives to Him, and it's just righteous to put His name above all. We would like to take this opportunity to praise and render our highest form of gratitude to the Almighty for the graces brought by the warmth of the morning winds, the hopeful rays of the afternoon sun, to the pampering streaks of light of the evening moon and star, for the strength that keeps us going, although bombarded with academic pressures, loneliness brought by the fact that we are miles away from our families. MAAP makes us realize that in this kind of life we chose, the trust and faith in God is our greatest weapon. Ladies and gentlemen, forming before you is a huge cross, which signifies that as future seafarers, serving God is our primary duty.
Change is the only permanent thing in this world. Thus the Academy trained us to become versatile, to accept change as part of our lives. Ladies and gentlemen, in front of you is letter X, manipulated from the previous formation, which signifies the versatility of our character. Now watch as the drillers show you a rifle exhibition called the Exchange of Rifles. This symbolizes the camaraderie we were able to develop as we unitedly stand to the test of time. We believe, as well as our dear Academy, that hard work and consistency is indispensable at any bit of excellence. We have always been encouraged not just to try, but to do our best in our every campaign. Such lies on the formation taking form before you, the asterisk.
The Maritime Academy of Asia and the Pacific emphasizes quality education in the courses it offers. MAAP injects an intensive learning process through a thorough exposure of its cadets to the scholastic and practical aspects of their respective courses. Well-experienced and competitive merchant marine officers facilitate the midshipmen's course training, imparting with them the experiences which they may find vital to the job of a merchant marine officer. MAAP promotes academic as well as which will ensure solidarity among the midshipmen. Such group activities enabled midshipmen to abolish differences concerning not only the course they took, but also the racial distinctions. Right before your eyes are individuals, each of whom belonged to a distinctive origin, race, and culture, but volunteered themselves to be a part of an institution which sees beyond those. Now formed before you are two identical circles, symbolizing the unity among the midshipmen.
Now watch as the driller performed before you a rifle exhibition called the planting of rifles. This symbolizes the brotherhood we have inculcated in ourselves. The drill shows the midshipman planting rifles to the ground as the other awaits and catches him. One more time, the drill make around to find the readiness of the MAAP-Batch. As you ready, you become trustworthy as well as to be trusted at all times. Uphold the way you watch my back, I watch yours. Principle. At this juncture, keep an eye open as the drill execute a rifle exhibition called the passing of rifles, symbolizing the willingness of every cadet to lend a hand to each other, no matter how small the help may be. Thus making us learn to value every effort of a fellow midshipman. Although the Academy is aiming for international excellence, which I will pushes it to comply with the requirements of a successful pursuit to such goal. With requirements which is learning to speak the world's language, English, that led it to enforce an English-only policy within its portals. MAAP never stripped off its cadets from their Filipino heritage, moreover, encouraging them to face the world with a high Filipino morale, carry with them the best of a Filipino trait. Dealing with the worldwide races, we the MAAP cadets are being trained, not to think as an inferior race, but rather a competitive and determined seafarers. We are being trained to stand firmly with our duties and responsibilities as a Filipino. To ensure our dedication to serving the country, the Academy incorporated a naval training course that will prepare us to become officers of the Philippine Navy, especially during times when our dear country calls for nationalistic acts from its citizens. Now, ladies and gentlemen, forming before you is the word Navy, symbolizing the vestige of our vow to uphold and stand proud of the Filipino heritage.
Man exists because of his right to live. But what gives meaning to his existence is his principle, and the way he lives his life according to it. Such is so important by reason of its representation to the certain personality of a human being. A man's principle is like the bright sun in the skies, which shines light on a man's life, making him see clearly and be able to cast his vision to wherever the lights may be radiated. Principle made man to dream, struggle, and endeavor greatly. It is so treasured that the same thing holds true to the midshipmen in front of you. We learn to live a regulated life, embracing the most valued principle of this institution, the Honor Code, which says that we, the midshipmen, do not lie, cheat, steal, nor tolerate among us those who do. The code is so much valued, for between the lines lie the distinctive identity of the whole Academy itself, and the usefulness of this lies in the heart of every midshipman. That is why at this point, witness as the drillers form before you an effigy of the Honor Code, the sun, which continuously burns, thus giving light to guide us to live life honorably.
At this point, gaze at the sun as it bears, signifying the lasting guidance brought by the Honor Code to our midshipmen. Which reminds us that a guiltless dignity is worth a lifetime of fortune, that honor should not be imperiled by any luxury of detestable origin, that as a product of this proud institution, it is our chief responsibility to act according to the standards of honor. For this, we lead us respectably. Encompassed in a midshipman development system that will develop a sense of uprightness among the midshipmen.
As mortals are vulnerable to death, it is a universal truth that we live life just once, and it is therefore logical to say that we should live it to its fullest. Though sad to say that our life clock will one day come to a point where it will cease from ticking, life still offers vast varieties of opportunities, which mainly depends on how man makes use of every second passing by. In the Academy, we were taught to value time, to see the advantages of making time go with our side. The in-house training we have undergone provided the Academy the opportunity to inject a 24/7 day training, thus greatly taking advantage of every second to train its midshipmen. At 16 hours on and 8 hours off, we live strictly, observing the daily routine, with the waking hours devoted mainly to academic and midshipman development activities systematically organized. No form before you is the clock, which tells of how valuable we consider time to be.
A midshipman's life greatly relies on every tick of the clock. We are being trained to systematically prioritize the thing to be done first. An earnest attitude greatly contributes to effective time management. To accomplish a task at the shortest period requires a serious approach to task at hand. That is serious enough to determine to carry it out. Doing things accurately also plays a vital role in time management. It is necessary to know what has to be done and how to do it, thus preventing errors, which may eventually cause a delay in its fulfillment. In the Academy, the midshipmen are being trained to accomplish duties under time pressure, through extra instruction inserted in the daily routines, which should be accomplished without sacrificing any schedule of calls. These calls are strictly enforced, allowing no excuses. These are daily activities of the midshipmen, which specify time allowance and every activity is duty to be performed. Thus, the Academy adopts to prepare midshipmen in the time-pressured life aboard ship. To stay focused under time pressure is an asset in an environment where small delays could be a disaster. At this point, keep an eye on the clock as it tells you the exact time is now 35 minutes after the hour of 8 in the morning.
To be trained at MAAP is not an easy task. To survive such training requires a great deal of sacrifice. In exchange for the opportunities offered with the Academy, we sacrifice the loving moments we are spending in the company of our parents and relatives. We could still remember the very first day we entered the grounds of this institution. It was not missing the gigs outside that brought sadness in our hearts. Rather, it was the realization that that very moment is a turning point of our lives, without them so close to us. In the morning of each day that followed is pervaded by the sweat brought by the training, while the evening fills itself with tears from our eyes, as our hearts hurt because they seemed so far away. We almost gave it up. But your letters once again strengthened our battered wills, recovered our ailing determination, and hopefully bridged the gap between our hearts. Your thoughts express your faith, and that brought out the best in us, thus strengthening us to endure the difficulties of our training. We have to face the fact that we are no longer kids to be pampered dearly, that the profession we chose is no place for a boy, but is completely of a man's world. We have to learn to let go, for that is the only way for us to grow, and our hearts will forever stay with you. That is why we dedicate this huge heart to you, our beloved, symbolizing the love of a midshipman who will forever treasure and give honor to audience like you. The class of 2017 can be compared to a set of dominoes. We are composed of different individuals who came from different regions of the country, with different dialects, personalities, and characters. But these differences proved to be a test on how we could be molded to stand, not as individuals, but as a class. Like a set of dominoes, we are all connected to each other in a manner where a single mistake from a single midshipman could affect the class as a whole. This relationship led us to develop the virtue of unity. We are being trained to stand strong as a class, to appreciate each other's differences, to always lend a helping hand to one another, to sympathize with each other's experiences, and to accept the fact that we are one. That one midshipman's failure is the failure of all, and the success of one is everyone's success. We have learned to appreciate the reality that the class is only as strong as its weakest midshipman. Through this, we learn to act as a class, united in every aspect of life, as classmates, as brothers and sisters, and as midshipmen and women of the fleet. expedition to be termed as the adamant conquerors and legionnaires of the seven seas. This mission serves as a challenge to the class of 2017 to acquire most, if not all, out of the chain. As members of the midshipman fleet, the Acolytes class has learned to beat the heart of the loyal fellow. We have surpassed the difficulties of the stage when legal orders are orders, and our sole wise option is to obey. We have learned, though in a hard way, to eat our pride. And now, as the Acolytes class steps up to another level, we are now given an introduction to the word leadership, eventually beating the heart of a leader. Now born before you are the last two digits of the proud year of 2017, the year when we are to spread our wings and begin a journey and create a legend out of a fulfilled goal.
Inspiration is a vital tool for us rigid men. We are able to work doubly hard as inspiration gets into our hearts. Difficulties seem to be a piece of cake when the image of our inspiration penetrates the very nerves of our minds. It really feels good when you are dedicating such hard work to someone else, and you know that the people you dedicate this things to appreciate and are very much thankful for the effort you are exerting. Happiness will be eternal as we receive letters from the people who inspires us very much, which somehow keeps us from trying harder. Inspiration are so important for living life alone in the seas, with the skies, the sun, or the moon, as our companion is really hard to bear, especially when we gaze at the setting sun in the brilliance of the horizon, hoping that someone else is with us to share the elegance of such romantic scene. The inspiration you brought gives us faith that at the end of this voyage is that someone who is patiently waiting with us with tearful eyes. That is why at this point, we would like to say to you our very much treasured plan through the words, I love you, and thank you very much for being our inspiration.
At this point, may we request everyone to please observe silence as we witness the most exciting part of the exhibition. Prepare yourselves for yet another breathtaking drill that required the midshipmen a lot of practice, patience, and determination. Ladies and gentlemen, the silent drill company of the class of 2017.
Ano sa'yo? Ano sa'yo pag sila dyan mawapit sa iyo? Paano mag-ramping ang mga? Wow naman. Saludo mo na bigla. Mamaya ka mo.
Kit ni Don na lubot.
Nahiya yan dito. Hindi naman pala siya yun, friend. Yun. Ayaw, tabi din. Ito yun.